Blue. Snow. Blue. Snow.
Hey, Tiger Lily gave me half this wand. We need the other half. Have you seen it? Where is it?
Look, give her a minute. The wand is... It's at the center of Storybrooke. That's enough of that. We don't need you sharing all your secrets.
Mom, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm not your mother, Emma. I'm his. Now back away, all of you. Fairies have such delicate necks.
You should listen to her, Father. She always makes good on her promises.
And what about the promise of a mother to a son?
Careful of your emotions, Rumpel. They run strongly in our family. As Blue is about to find out.
I'm sorry I had to do this, Father. Goodbye.
I'm afraid your magic is no longer any use to you. It's time to get your heart back.
Of the many, many sneak peeks for Once Upon a Time that I've reviewed, I would have to say this one is definitely in my top 10. It was just really, really good. The acting, the dialogue, the music, the twist, so good. And this is one of the reasons why I like Once Upon a Time so much. So let's get right into what happened here. In the beginning of the sneak peek, Blue woke up, and I have to say, I was very happy she woke up, but then I thought the scene was going to go in a completely different direction. So when Hook is like, where is the other part of this wand? And the Blue Fairy goes, you know, it's in the center of Storybrooke. I'm thinking, what does that mean, the center of Storybrooke? Because that's pretty ambiguous. Why is Blue so cryptic? A lot of you guys are saying the Blue Fairy isn't also good, and I kind of agree with that because she never gives direct answers. She always just gives like little puzzle pieces, and even those little puzzle pieces you have to solve. It's never easy with her. And then, you know, it turns out that the Black Fairy is really there because she's Snow White in disguise, which I thought was a really clever twist. And I just love how the Black Fairy comes up to Rumpel and is like, don't let your emotions control you. Rumpel's pretty emotional, more or less. I mean, he really does, you know, live by his emotions or by his desires. And, you know, he does get angry quite a bit. So I like how the Black Fairy is like, I know how to stop you. And I loved it. I just love Jamie Murray's acting. She's so good. And then, of course, Charming is, you know, Gideon in disguise. And again, I thought that was really cool, too. So we have our main antagonist in the same room with almost all of our heroes. The only people that weren't there in this scene was Jared, Lana, and Rebecca. And I would say they probably didn't want to include them because it might have been a little bit too crowded in the back of Gold Shop. So overall, just the way the scene went down was so much fun. The only little critique I would have had, and it's not even a critique, it's when the Blue Fairy goes, fairies have just such delicate necks. I would have expected her to say fairies have such delicate wings, but that's truly a beside the point critique. So then Blue gets abducted by the Black Fairy, and I'm like, oh, I wonder where they are going, and I wonder exactly what the Black Fairy is going to do to Blue. She can't be doing anything good to her. And then, you know, Gold binds Gideon's magic with that magic cuff, which I also thought was kind of funny because that magic cuff belongs to Peter Pan. So he's using his grandfather's, the grandfather's magic is stopping the grandson's magic. And we know that Malcolm is never going to meet Gideon, or Pan will never meet Gideon. But I have to say, I just think it's really funny that Pan's magic, you know, the villain from season 3 is essentially stopping more or less the anti-hero of season 6. So then Rumpel goes, you know, we got to get your heart back. And I'm assuming this scene comes before the dream sequence. I'm guessing. Sometimes those sneak peeks always don't get released in the order they air in the episode. So that would make sense to me. So I'm really curious to see, you know, if they will get Gideon's heart back. I imagine they will. But one thing I really want to say here is, you know, Charming and Snow have been abducted, or not abducted, impersonated by the Black Fairy. So I wonder if she abducted them, because that would be a pretty cool twist if she did abduct them, because that would give Emma more drive for the final battle to defeat the Black Fairy, because she's kidnapped her parents. So I have to say, I really loved everyone's dialogue here. I loved their acting. It was just really, really fun. And, you know, we're at a standstill right now. We don't know what's going to be going on with the Black Fairy. She seems to be really, really powerful, and I dig it. Now, I want to get off the sneak peek for a second to talk about the Snow Queen versus the Black Fairy. It's kind of like a weird topic, I know, but I just sense the Snow Queen in the Black Fairy. I would have loved if these two arcs were almost on top of each other, because we have such powerful female villains at the same time, and it would have been just a fantastic season. I even feel the way they use their magic is very similar. Their facial expressions are very similar. Their outfits aren't so similar, but their outfits are also polar opposites. One is pure white, one is almost all black. And I really, really feel that the Snow Queen and the Black Fairy are two of the strongest magical characters on the show. The Snow Queen is the only character on the show who has died at the hands of herself, which is like a weird statement to say, but she's the only one who no one's had to kill. Like Zelena killed Hades, but Pan was killed by Rumple. So many other characters that have died, Emma killed Cruella. So many characters that have died at the hands of others, and the Snow Queen was so powerful that she could only stop herself. So I'm really curious, just how strong the Black Fairy is in comparison to the Snow Queen. A lot of you guys probably say the Black Fairy is stronger, but I want to see more of the Black Fairy's magic. She was immune to Zelena's magic, but the Snow Queen did take out Zelena. So that might not be a very fair argument that, just because the Black Fairy is immune to one, et cetera, what I'm getting at is, they both have taken on Zelena and won, though the Snow Queen did it kind of sneakily. But nonetheless, I just really would love the writers or the creators of the show to say, which one is stronger, and to give us a stronger backstory of the Black Fairy. But I think this episode with the Black Fairy will be quite nice to watch as well. Also, just a little public announcement. Frozen 2 has been confirmed for 11/27/2019. I had said it was going to get a 2019 date. I knew it from the start. The second they announced the sequel in March 2015, I said it takes about 4 years to make an animated movie, and boom, it's 4 years. So that's really cool. But anyway, back to the sneak peek. Just like I said, the music was really cool. The acting was really cool. Belle was the only one that didn't really do any acting here because she just had to react. But I'm digging it. And I'm really looking forward to it. I said in my trailer review that I don't think the Black Fairy came off, as like the overall villain of the show or even this half of the season, because I just don't think they wrote her in properly. I know at several points in the season, I remember way back in season 3 when they foreshadowed her a little bit, but a foreshadow 3 years ago isn't enough to make me feel the gravitas of her impact. And her one episode in the beginning of 6A, what was that? Was that Changelings, I think? It wasn't enough, again, to make me feel the gravitas of her presence, but I do feel it now. I just wish we had felt it for a couple episodes prior, because I have to tell you, when they talked about the Black Fairy's wand way back in season 3 when they killed Pan, or at least Pan's shadow, I think they killed Pan in that episode too. I gotta say, I thought, Black Fairy, whatever, and never thought about her again. So anyway, in terms of the scene structure, it was fun. It was a fun scene, and I think a lot of us should have enjoyed the scene quite a bit. And I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say about it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching my review of the sneak peek. I hope to talk to you about the episode this Sunday. Okay, guys. Bye.